Hello, everybody. Welcome to the Sci-Fi Collective. I'm Jude.
And I'm Wayne, and we are taking a look at the most recent Ghostbusters Afterlife trailer. I'm going to be throwing out a few things that are spotted in the trailer and also maybe a theory or two.
Okay.
First of all, Jude, what was your initial reaction to the trailer? We'll put it straight on Street.
hmm
What we like our initial reactions.
Yeah, that's absolutely. Yeah, I'll go with that. Basically, before anything, I got a text from you, which was a very excited text, where you couldn't wait to tell me that you were fully on board, something
hmm
on along those lines. Um, yeah, and I was eager to go and watch it as soon as I could, which I did.
hmm
And I would just say I enjoyed it. I liked it. I'm not going to say at this point that I loved it.
hmm
I think I'll be going to the cinema to see it, but if I didn't, I'd be there ready for the DVD, Blu-ray release or whatever.
hmm
I probably will go to the cinema to see it. But I kind of feel like the way that they do movie trailers these days, that's probably going to be the first of like four trailers or something, where each
hmm
trailer is going to have some of the same footage in there, but with added bits. Because I think one of the first text messages I sent you back was like, I thought it was supposed to be the original characters. No one was in that. Well, obviously, Harold Ramis isn't going to be in there, but you don't see anyone else in there. Only their distant relatives, I guess, character-wise. And but you said to me, "Oh, they're definitely there. They're just not in that." So that's
hmm
why I think you're going to see more trailers where if you weren't pulled in with that first one, they're going to try and pull you in with the next ones, I think. But I definitely enjoyed it. I liked it. I just didn't love it yet.
hmm No,
That's kind of what I said to you straight away.
no, that's fair. And I'm not sure if they're gonna. I think you're right. I think they're gonna put out another trailer closer to the time revealing the OG characters, but
Mm,
I don't think they're gonna show too much. I'm getting the impression that um
mm.
with Ghostbusters, they're gonna hold things fairly close to the chest.
I would guess like they'll release two more trailers, and they're going to have most of the same footage. But like maybe in the next one you'll get Ray and Winston,
hmm
and they'll both have like 2 to 3 seconds in the trailer
hmm
where they'll just say something like, "Oh, your granddad was a great man," or something like
That's
that
it.
in it,
Yeah.
something along those lines. And no Peter Venkman. But then in the third trailer, you'll have all the same stuff again, but then you'll just have Peter Venkman at the end just saying shit or
Yeah.
something like that at the end. So that'll be like the final clip to drag people in, like, woohoo, he's
That's it.
finally back.
Just up the ante.
Yeah.
Oh, no. Okay. Well, my initial reactions was what I loved about the trailer
Oh, I'm
was,
totally happy to pick it apart now, by the way.
yeah,
But
cool.
yeah, you, you
No
you tell me
worries.
yours. Yeah, and then we'll pick it apart.
Definitely. What I loved about the trailer was that if you'd gone into this cold, you would not have known this was a Ghostbusters trailer for the first minute or so. I haven't looked at the timings, but
It
it
could be Tremors 7.
it could, yeah,
Possibly.
it could be anything. It could be anything. And also what I felt that the trailer portrayed, because obviously with the 2016 trailer, there was huge kickback straight away, and I
Mm.
wasn't a fan of the 2016 trailer.
No,
Um,
no, it put me off. It took me a long while to even want to watch that film and
mhm,
have people such as yourself and JD from In the Wilderness like to actually finally go, okay, I'll give it a chance. And then when I watched it, I was like, that was nowhere near as bad as it seemed in the trailer. And then the backlash and all the fans that had that backlash sort of
yeah,
made me feel like, I'm not going to waste my time on this. But anyway, this is not about.
No,
that film.
but what I felt that this one done is in 2016, I felt that they were portraying the slapstick comedy
Mm,
um, too hard. In
yeah.
this, they are playing the trailer cold. There is no humor in it whatsoever. It's going and it's showing that it is like because what I loved about Ghostbusters is there if you strip away the humor, there is still a good movie there. There is a
I'd
good
say you're right.
paranormal movie.
There's like fun displayed in this trailer. People,
Hmm.
the kids, having a good time.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's not funny, is it? It's not silly.
No, which it seems like it's hitting the right notes with regards to Ghostbusters like with regards to like say the librarian or like
Hmm.
the initial things there is elements that that might scare kids so
Mm.
like even though it's a family film um it also seems like this is going to be like that it's going to have those elements to try and invoke fear as well as
I
then
hope
adding
so.
on
Yeah.
the fun elements and the comedy as well. It seems like it's hitting those same notes that the original Ghostbusters did for me. Um, and to be honest, I am just really stoked by it. It just hit all of the right buttons. But I think maybe we should now like dissect a little because I did initially have a theory about what could potentially be going on
Mm.
in Afterlife. But then I've now got a new theory based on what I noticed from the second watch through. Well, not second watch through. Most recent couple
Eighth.
of watch throughs. Yeah, no, I've probably watched it like 9 times now.
I've
So
watched about two and a half, but yeah, I thought if I've watched it that many times, you must have watched it at least six or seven.
yeah, so it's okay. Initially, what I had noticed there, I don't know if obviously we hit the notes of explaining that it's like just some town out in the middle of nowhere
Hmm.
that's suffering from
I, li- I
unexplained
I like that
earthquakes.
for a start. I like for this. It's not in New York and
Yeah,
those sort of places.
yeah, it's not a rehash of one and two,
Hmm.
and so it's suffering with unexplained earthquakes nowhere near, and it does a brilliant job at like putting the story there in the trailer that there is nowhere near fault lines. It's
Yeah.
like definitely not a natural occurrence, but it's still there's no fracking, not even any loud music. They say,
Yeah.
but they're suffering from constant earthquakes, so you know something is going down. Um, I think Paul Rudd is brilliant in the
Oh,
trailer.
I think Paul Rudd's brilliant, full stop. So yeah, I was glad to see it. As soon as I saw him, I was like, okay, that's a really good plus point for them.
Hmm.
That's really, really going to help
Hmm.
sell
Definitely.
tickets and, like get people's approval.
Hmm. And also, I like obviously they're introducing
Or as millions of people will be saying when they watch that trailer, oh, it's Ant-Man.
yeah, exactly,
That's
exactly.
what my wife said. She
Hmm.
just knows him as Ant-Man. I
Yeah,
always have to say, oh, Ant-Man. And she's like, oh, right, yeah.
yeah. It's the most identifiable thing. You're only
Yeah.
as famous as your last part, apparently.
Yeah. No, well, it's a great part.
Oh,
We
it's
both
brilliant.
love the Ant-Man films. I think they're two of the best Marvel films of the
Hmm.
last 5, 10 years,
Oh,
to be honest.
absolutely, absolutely. No, so you're presented with a family that's suffering financial problems that have then moved into a rundown old house, and it explains that they've had to move into their granddad's house, um, and then they start finding crap that like that isn't normal, like ghostly whiffs coming out of a big hole and
Yeah.
whatnot, and um, also then it starts to explain obviously these are Egon's grandkids um through
Grandkids. The way I
no
took it in, it was just a grandkid, and the other kids were her friends.
No, 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 because it's a brother and sister. Uh,
Oh, I thought they might be like love interests.
no, no, no. The lad from Stranger
Stranger
Things
Things.
is her brother.
Oh, I didn't get that.
Yeah,
I
no,
oh no, actually no, no, that's right. No, because they're all under the
mhm,
table, aren't they? So that would make sense.
yeah, yeah,
Yeah.
no, exactly. Which actually brings us to something that slipped me past for the first couple of watch throughs. But during that scene where there is an earthquake and they run to get under the table,
Mm,
in the living room there is a perfectly symmetrical stack of books,
mm.
just like the
Like the
librarian.
first film. Yeah.
Yeah, just like the librarian, which plays into one my initial first theory that I'll share with you in a little bit.
You
Um,
think it is like they've come out of the containment thing and all those ghosts are back.
well, the thing is, what I assume because they obviously the family find they find the trap, they find Ecto, they find the uniforms. He
Hmm.
goes down the pole that goes underneath. My initial theory was that Egon, when he retired, because they explained that no ghosts have appeared since '89,
Mm.
so there's just been nothing. So obviously at that point the
It
Ghostbusters
almost
would be
feels
shutting
like
down
the
shop.
beginning of this film is going to be the same beginning as Ghostbusters 2,
Yeah,
but just done a bit more bigger and with a
yeah.
longer time period.
Exactly. So it was a question of like since nothing's happened since then, it's become folklorish that
Mm.
like the everything that went on with Ghostbusters even went down, and the kids don't know about it because their dad has passed away. So they're living with their mum, who isn't Egon's daughter. It was
Ah, okay.
yeah. So it's Egon. Egon had a son who then had these two kids that
So
he.
can I just ask you one question?
Mhm,
Even though I presume the same thing just from the
mhm.
look and stuff, how do you know that it's Egon's grandkids and not Peter's grandkids
There's a couple of
or
things.
Ray's?
There's a couple of things. Obviously, the look of them, not only with
Yeah,
like the
that's the
frizzy
number one
hair, the
thing.
glasses, number one. Number two, when she pulls back the flight uniform, the first uniform that there is Spengler,
Mm.
when like on the nameplate, but also on one of the scenes in the family home, there's a framed picture that looks, even though it's blurred, it looks like Harold Ramis.
Okay. All right then. Yeah. Well,
So,
I thought it was, but like at the same time,
but
when I was
also,
watching the trailer, I was like, what if it's Sigourney Weaver and
but the
uh,
thing is,
Bill Murray's?
the thing is with that, also they say that it's the granddad's house, and when
Mm.
they go into the basement, they find nothing but containers of spores, pores, and fungus.
Mm.
Spores, molds, and
Yeah.
fungus.
Yeah. Yeah. It's Egon then, isn't it?
It's
It's
got the amount of like petri dishes that there are.
And also, it makes sense because if they are bringing the other three back,
They
to
need to
sort
have
of,
Egon in there in some way.
yeah,
And
making him like legend status through all this stuff.
e- exactly, but also what my initial theory was that because there had been no activity, Egon obviously wanted to move. They couldn't afford to stay in New York, but they
Yeah,
wanted to move everything out, and also Egon would have wanted to have kept everything safe. So my initial theory was that he buried the containment unit underground,
yeah, yeah, that would
and
make a lot of sense. Yeah,
it's now started to malfunction.
yeah.
Hence why there's suddenly becoming tremors.
Or even something good um, like someone was digging for oil or something like that, and some
Yeah.
human being has punctured it somehow at some point.
Well, he said there's no fracking, so you can only assume that there isn't. But yeah, no, something's gone on where the containment unit is now malfunctioning.
Yeah.
Hence why you've got this perfectly stacked uh, of books where the
Yeah.
librarian could have got out. As you say, later in the trailer, you see a scene where a ghost that is similar to Slimer,
I reckon it will be Slimer.
yeah, being chased by the XO1 with the kids.
Yeah.
Um, Also, then you, even though it wasn't, this is one thing that I couldn't quite explain, but plays into my second theory.
Okay.
You, you see the son in the car and the devil dog standing on the bonnet. You see the feet of the
Oh.
yeah, you see the feet of the devil dog jump on the bonnet, which at that point made me think, okay, they weren't actually captured. They were they were killed. They because Dana and
Mm.
Lewis both were like retrieved from the carcasses of the devil dogs.
Yeah.
So they weren't actually captured. That didn't fit into my first theory, but that is what I thought about it.
I'll go back and watch that at some point. Yeah.
Yeah,
I didn't
and
take that in myself.
but then so you get to see all of the fun stuff like finding the car. Also, I love using the voiceover of Bill Murray from Ghostbusters 1 when they're just setting up shop. Just it gave me tingles up the back of my neck of call it fate, call it luck, call it karma. Uh, like everything happens for a reason. And that gave me absolute shivers. Something that I noticed on probably playthrough 7 of the thing, which is such a very small detail,
Yeah.
but and wouldn't be recognized. Probably you could have overlooked it because it's referenced only once in Ghostbusters. It's only referenced in the first Ghostbusters,
Mm.
and then it comes into play in the Ghostbusters video game, which even whether they use it, it was always touted as this is canon when they released it on PS3 and Xbox 360.
Yeah, I remember them saying, yeah.
Because it was written by Dan Aykroyd and it was like and Ramus, and it was pushed as like the third film
Yeah,
that could have
yeah,
been.
that is what they said, yeah.
So I don't
In
know
in
whether
fact, they said you're never going to get another one, so this is it,
yeah,
accept this as being it.
exactly. But I that game can't be canon anymore because it portrayed a rookie joining them in later years.
Yeah.
Which, if there's been no activity, no ghost activity since '89, then that can't be the case.
Mm.
Um, but there is one character in that game called Ivor Shandor, who is the leader of the cult of Gozer.
Oh.
So basically, like a group of people that worship Gozer, and in the game, like they try and bring Gozer back. Um, in this trailer, you get a scene where you see in the distance a sign for a building which says Shandor Mining Company.
Ah, there you go. I think you're already on it. Like
Yeah,
they've obviously taken stuff from that game and twisted it,
yeah,
but they know that
exactly.
anyone who's watched that will be like, okay, I get it's not the same, but
Yeah,
you'll accept it and be happy for the reference sort of
yeah,
thing.
exactly. So, and the thing is, it's
But hell,
Shandor.
this film's not out till summer next
Yeah,
year, so I'm sure I'll
more
be
could
playing
come
that
out.
game.
Oh,
I'll be
yeah, no,
playing that game
definitely.
myself before the film comes out, I'm
And
sure.
as I said to you before recording, it's only about 20 quid. It's well worth it.
Oh yeah, yeah. I'll go
Yeah.
get it. I'll get it in the new year as soon as I
And
can.
and seeing as it's Shandor Mining Company, and they're getting earthquakes, and they're getting ghosts visibly coming out of the ground,
Mm, it's
and
all connected.
Return of the Devil Dog.
Mhm.
Maybe it's a question of Egon moved everything there specifically after finding out details of the cult of Shandor
Yeah.
and everything. Because whether there's any members of the cult of Shandor still alive,
I got the
sorry,
feeling there's
not
gonna
cult
be.
of Shandor, cult of Gozer. If there's any members of the cult of Gozer still alive or not, this is obviously where they were doing stuff.
Yeah.
So Egon may have moved everything there in preparation of at some point shit's gonna go down,
Yeah. No,
and
I think you're on it.
we want to be there, and nothing happened for ages, and now this like 30 years later, bang, it's all happening.
I'll tell you another thing that this trailer reminds me of, and we've spoken about it before on Sci-Fi Collective YouTube videos.
Hmm.
Have you still not watched The Goonies?
I still haven't watched the Goonies. No.
Because I think maybe you should watch that before you watch this film, because
Hmm.
I got serious vibes of that.
Hmm.
Goonies is about a bunch of kids what go on an adventure, seeking treasure, like following a treasure map and avoiding all these traps along the way, and then avoiding this mafia crime family which is trying to do the same thing. But I'm pretty sure it's Steven Spielberg. It's very well done. It's very simple,
Yeah.
but it's well done. And a lot of people might tell you, like I did, that when they watched Stranger Things recently, that you
Hmm.
really got vibes of the Goonies. You know, these
Hmm.
kids having this big adventure, and all the adults are sort of like on the sidelines, you know, not really knowing what's going on. And I get the feeling you're going to see that in here, where it's all going to be about the kids discovering these things bit by bit, and then they're going to be realizing like, oh, hang on a minute, we've got a job to do here. Like we've actually got to stop this. And then the kids are going to be going to everyone but Paul Rudd, who's an adult,
Hmm.
saying like, oh, we've got to do this, and they're just going to be like, oh, what are you talking about? And
Do you
Paul
know
Rudd will be
what?
the only person that helps, and then
Yeah, and do you know what? I think Paul, whether it's a question of like shit is really going south, and Paul Rudd is the catalyst for locating the original Ghostbusters
hmm
to get them
yeah,
back on,
I think that will be the case.
because whether it's a question of I don't know, would Egon have managed to set certain equipment like so once stuff went off really bad, then it would contact everyone, or
I think there might be some of that, and I feel like he's going to have left messages for like his family, like saying, I don't know
Mhm,
your name, I don't know what year it is, but if you're reading this or listening to this or watching this,
mhm,
like you need to do this if you want to save the world,
mhm,
you want to save your family,
yeah,
save the Spanklers, or whatever you are.
that's it.
That's what I think's coming with that part.
And that's why that and things like that. That is why this trailer has got me so enthused, and I I have no shadow of doubt in my head. I'm sure this film is gonna fucking rock.
Yeah, you're actually making me more excited about it, just us talking about it now. But yeah, I was honest with you then and today about how I
Hmm.
felt when I first saw it. But yeah, just having this conversation's now pumping me up for it.
Oh, I'm
Definitely.
glad that I managed to achieve something today.
Yeah.
Oh, dude. So if you guys noticed anything in the trailer, make sure to leave it in the comment section down below. I'd love to check out what you found as well.
Yeah,
And
same.
yeah, let us know what you think because yeah, we're absolutely stoked. So that's it. Ghostbusters 2020. Thanks for watching, guys. I've been Wayne.
I've been Jude. We're the Sci-Fi Collective. Something like that.
See you later.